Okay, I think, are we live? We're live. Hey, look at that. Hello, friends, and welcome to AI Coding with Friends. We are here to introduce you to something super brand new, something amazing, something purple, something spooky. We're going to talk today. We're going to code. We're going to draw on a piece of paper, and we're going to introduce you to Kiro. Before we get to Kiro, let's first of all start with ourselves. Well, I have a guest here, David.
Hello.
David, tell them, who are you? What do you do? Usually I say, where do you come from? But you're here, so
I'm here in Seattle.
And what was your first text edit, code editor?
Yeah. First code editor. Okay. Yeah. Well, my name is David Janacek. I'm a senior principal engineer. I do a lot of coding, but I suppose it all started with, I think it was in just. It was QBasic. I guess I might have been coding in Notepad. That's a very possible thing that I was typing into.
Absolutely. I like Windows Notepad, right? Like a standard Windows.
Yeah,
Notepad.
I would have been on Windows at the time. Sure. Yeah, or DOS or something. I don't remember.
Edit.com was the best thing. Okay, so hey, thank you, David. My name is Darko. I'm what they call these days a developer advocate. I come from a long line of system administrators. So I used to carry around the screwdriver and rack and stack servers, and look at me in the cloud now. So both David and I are going to talk to you today all about Kiro. We're going to show it to you a little bit. How does it all work? What does it do? Why we built it? And how you can benefit from it as well. We're going to also share some news, some hackathon information, some Discord stuff, so you all can come and join and chat to us. Okay, so first of all, let me go ahead and share a screen here. So I'm going to go on Kiro.dev, and I am going to do the following. I think this should work. So share screen. Yes, you can do it. Let's do this. Boom, boom. Share this window. Okay, cool. So friends, this is Kiro. Kiro is an AI IDE for prototype to production. You will see we tend to use this word a lot, that it kind of gets you basically from a small level project to whatever the size project you have. So, from your vibe coding sessions to actual productions. It is available right now. You can go download it on Kiro.dev. But let's go ahead and start with David. Why did we launch Kiro? What's Kiro all about, and what makes it different from a plethora of other coding assistants out there?
Well, developers like me, we love vibe coding.
We do,
and because it's just easy to get going. It's easy to steer things around. But I find that I want to have that vibe coding experience beyond just prototyping, beyond just small features. And so Kiro, through spec-driven development, where instead of just prompts that I come back and steer it, make big design decisions 20 minutes in, I kind of work with it through prompting and discussion to get to a spec. And then from that spec, it generates the rest. It generates the code. It generates documentation, the test, extensive tests, all the way, everything that you would need to production. And I think this spec-driven development approach keeps it on task. It keeps it from wandering off, and it keeps me from having to backtrack a long time later.
That is fair. Now, so let's, before I actually kind of start working with Kiro and all of these discussions we had, I didn't really know what spec-driven development was, right? So explain to them,
Sure.
What is spec-driven development and why should we care?
Well, spec-driven development is a new thing.
It's a new thing. Okay.
That's right.
It sounds very ancient, but okay.
No, it's new. No, it's, I think, over time we've gotten new developer tools. Like I said, I was using maybe Notepad in writing QBasic and things like that, and then we kind of started getting autocomplete in IDEs that would help suggest things that would generate code for you. Generate the boilerplate. If you said, well, I'm writing a bean, and it would write the rest of the getters and setters for you. And so now we're at this. With Gen AI, we've been able to get an even more powerful thing where it will take and discuss concepts with you and implement things that you've never implemented before. But spec-driven development is a new flow. It's not just autocomplete. It's not just running errands to do tasks for you. It helps you frame the whole project and come up with what the project should be. Right. So with specs, the way that they work is that you start prompting, say, here's a thing I want to build or a new feature I want to add with some some specificity, and then it generates a spec, the requirements. So it says requirements file, and this describes the whole thing, the user stories. Essentially, it's user stories. How will your customers interact with it? From there, once you discuss and refine, you can refine it directly in the spec file, or you can refine it by just discussing with Kiro. Once you do that, it generates a design. And with that design says, okay, here's how we're actually going to do it. And you can shape it there. You can say, well, actually, I want this framework or that framework or this platform or that platform. And then that's great. Once you decide, get all that nailed down, then it comes up with a plan, and it breaks it down into tasks with subtasks. And it just goes through those one by one, marking them off, and getting it done.
Yeah. I think that's the beautiful thing, and we chatted about this before the live stream. Is that one of the great things about having something called like a spec is that when you vibe code, when you go ahead and just kind of chat along with things, it gets you there really, really fast, right? But you lose this history. You lose this kind of like, you lose track of what you asked it to do unless you go ahead and scroll stuff, and like it feels like there's no good structure to it. Right. With spec-driven development, with a requirements doc, with a design doc, it all is there. And like kind of, my biggest problem with coding assistants is when I sense I lost control.
Oh, sure.
Right? You're like, okay, I'm gonna build this incredible thing, and you open up your chat thing, and you're there, and all of a sudden, you lost it. Like I have no idea what changed. I'm like.
Yeah, when I did some things that you thought you said, oh, it's really important that we do this thing.
Yeah.
But then later on, when it's doing a different thing, it'll be like gone.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, what was that? I had done work. I had given input into this editor, and that input is now gone.
Exactly.
And that's just frustrating.
Exactly.
Like, let's keep that important. But you don't need every little, oh, hey, how do I run this git command? Well, that's also in the history. So you have to figure out how to distill the important parts of that chat. And we found that with this spec flow, new spec flow, that we can distill that up front, do that discussion up front, and save those into a well-defined set of artifacts, specs.
And Kiro doesn't have just spec-driven development. It has, you can do your vibe coding absolutely here. It's all there, right? It has a couple other things, of course. Some of the table stakes. It has MCP support, of course. It has something multimodal development. I think that's been also kind of table stakes.
Paste in screenshots and say, hey, I don't like this. Let's fix that for me.
Exactly. Has something called agentic hooks, which we're going to be talking about in a second. But you know what? Let's go ahead and look at it, right?
Yeah.
Are you going to be able to show us something?
Yeah.
I'm going to stop sharing my screen right now, and I'm going to go ahead and we're going to have David here join us. He's going to go ahead and share his screen and see how the whole spec-driven development works. By the way, I want to say hello to the folks in chat here. Oh my God, we have Chris here in the chat. Hello. We have Al Harris. Hey, here for the specs. AJ is here, of course. Hi, yes. What a flex, right? Indeed. Cameo, you're vibing so hard. And also, hey, Danielle. Hello, friends. Hello. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. So you can go ahead and just share your screen. You can do the entire screen. There we go. Yeah. Good, beautiful. Let me know when you're ready to present. Good. Okay. I'm going to ask you to zoom in this.
I'm going to zoom way in. Okay.
Let's zoom in and make this quite obvious what's going on. Thank you. Can you maybe full screen it just so we don't have the little Mac thing here? You can hide this thing. Yeah, there we go. And that's great. And you can do the whole little green button. There you go. And here's the pro tip I teach people. 3-finger swipe. You know this?
No. Oh my goodness.
You can change screens like that.
I didn't set up my screens right then. Well, this is great.
That's okay.
Great. Wow.
Okay. What is this?
What are we looking at?
Okay.
We're looking at Kiro.
Okay.
It's very great. So what we're looking at is an app that I built. So I spend a lot of time going on sort of side quests. I have these infinite number of things that I think about that I could do. I think, I wish I had time to do this thing or this thing. Long time ago, when I was working on a NoSQL database, building a NoSQL database, it was kind of pioneering NoSQL a bit. We were finding that we needed to explain to people how to do indexing. And so what I did back then was I made an image tagging app. And that people could learn from, that people could go to. It would teach people how to do indexes, conditional writes, queries, all those kind of NoSQL-y things that were kind of new concepts. And so I made an image tagging app a while ago. I decided when I was kind of picked up Kiro to rebuild that.
Okay.
Say how like that took me a while back then. I didn't put much polish on it either. So it took me a while and it wasn't very good quality. So now I decided to do that with Kiro and see how that goes. And so what I did was I started with a spec.
Okay.
And so that was this meme tagging site. All I said was that here, let's be able to
let's look at the whole thing, because I would definitely love to see how does this whole spec look like here.
I didn't do that.
That's okay. Okay, so this is a new thing we have here. Like, first of all, chat, you may notice that this looks incredibly like VS Code. Guess what? And it is give you all the benefits of VS Code. All the plugins work. Just everything you're used to, it's all here. This little thing that we're seeing here is slightly different than what you're used to. You see this requirements.md, but also there's a bunch of different tabs in this requirements and in this tab. So, but the requirements doc here.
Yeah, so it starts with the requirement. What I did was I was in spec mode here.
Okay.
I just said, I don't remember where my original prompt is. It doesn't really matter. I said I want to make a meme tagging site.
Okay.
And what it did was it generated these requirements.
Yeah.
And it just says, okay, this is basically it came up with a bunch of things that you might want to do. I kind of described the stack that I wanted to do, and it says all these user stories. When a user provides a URL of the image, I want to generate a unique identifier.
Yeah.
I think all these little minutia of it that are actually kind of important to capture.
Yeah.
I also told it I wanted to, this time it was going to be much better than the last time I wrote this image tagging app. This I wanted to use AI to automatically come up with the tags. I don't want to just have to type every single one in. Fantastic. So I'm like, this time let's add that little bit of a challenge to it.
Yeah.
And so that's what this section is about. I wanted to be able to search for them, all these things. And then I also said, it also was helping me come up with
stuff. Yeah. So that's kind of it's great, because you don't have to necessarily write this whole thing.
No, I wrote like 3 sentences.
Exactly.
And it's like, here's what you want for that.
You could, if you want, create a whole requirements.md file. It's a markdown file in your directory. So, go for it. But Kiro actually helps you write this, right? So it helps you do these things. And for folks out there who have maybe not been too deep into the world of software development, especially as like hobby coders or like, just your own little personal projects, user stories are something where you explain what the user story in your application is, right? So like in this case, as a system administrator, I want comprehensive monitoring of the application so that I can ensure it's running correctly and troubleshoot issues. Yeah. So basically, this is one of the things I, as a user, as a sysadmin, want out of this application. Once this requirement doc is created, what's next?
Well, then I say, let's move on. It says, okay, let's move on to the next step. As long as I agree, like we kind of go back and forth, I refine it, I discuss with Kiro, say, I don't want this, I do want this.
Yep.
Then we come to the next file, which is, I guess I could have just clicked up top.
That's fine. But there's a dot Kiro. Yeah.
There's a .Kiro directory. I'll just show you where that is. There's no magic to this stuff. It's all up here in your specs here. Yep. And so the next meme tagging site, then it says, let's come up with a design. There we go. Okay. And so that is a design for it. It says it's going to be web-based thing. It describes the architecture.
Mermaid.js diagrams.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. It just, I don't normally spend the time to do this kind of thing for real stuff. I suppose I do, but this also saves me all that time.
Yeah.
It gives me a great starting point, so I can refine it from here.
Okay. See, local development uses a local stack. Shout out to local stack.
Yeah, because this is really important. Exactly. I thought it was important. I actually just added that as a requirement. I said, it said what it was planning on doing. And I said, actually, you know what? I'm going to want to run this locally on my laptop pretty much. I'm not going to run a local AI image recognition service on my laptop, but I will run everything else. I want my own database. I want my own file store for the images locally so that I can just isolate everything and not have to be so tied to everything. So I added that requirement, and it came up with it. Okay, great. This is what the local thing will look like. Fantastic. Front-end components, back-end components. Describe all the APIs that it was going to implement. Okay. Describe the kind of models, the data models. That's what we're looking at here. This is saying what the back-end database records are going to look like. For tags. Describe the database schema for the NoSQL database.
Okay.
It described unit testing. This is a really important part. I didn't have to be very specific about this. I love how thorough it is in what it says. We're going to need to have really good tests, and that helps. The tests help several things. It helps make sure it got done the right way. It helps maintain, just like tests always do. But it also helps Kiro as it goes understand where it needs to fix something. So it's kind of a nice way for that loop what it's building to go.
What is going, David? I need to move us slightly because I feel like you're out of frame. You need to be there. That's good. Okay. So keep talking. So yeah,
Yeah, no, that's
absolutely.
fine.
So, no, but this is a living document. You can change this. You can modify it,
yeah.
right? Yeah. Okay.
I
It's
can
not
change
just
it
a-
by just asking it to change
Okay.
something, or I can just modify the actual. Ultimately, it's just this file.
Yeah, it's
So
a
I can
markup.
just-
Mhm.
Yeah, markup
Yeah.
file. So
Okay.
I can just change that. But yeah,
Nice. Okay.
so that's great. So once I have the design and we want to go back and forth and agree on
Yep.
this is how I want this to work, then we're into the next file. Actually, that's why I could click up here.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
like requirements, design, now task list.
Task list. Okay.
And it's going to break it down into steps. Let's set up the project, the infrastructure first. Let's set up this. In this case, I'm using CDK. It gets into all the details of what it's actually going to go do step by step. And I find that this is really helpful.
Yeah.
Because it keeps it focused.
Keeps it focused.
So not only did we agree up front, and so I don't have to steer it and undo stuff that is done, it also keeps it from wandering off.
Yeah.
Where I find other things kind of tend to wander off sometimes and just do refactoring that I didn't want it to do right now. It's like, why are you bothering with that? And then it's all these things waste time and everything. And so this is great that it just stays focused, doing one task at a time. And it knows that the tasks will build on each other. And I can say, do this one, or I can just say, go through all of the tasks one at a time.
Okay, give me a second. I think people are saying that your microphone is a little. Is that Matt? Is he a little bit too? Let's see your microphone. Just a second.
Yeah.
It's not
Game is-
muted. It's okay. His audio is coming from. Yeah, it's a lav mic, so both of us should be coming from the audio here. So can I? I'm gonna tap his microphone, Matt, and everybody just
Cover your ears.
Did you hear that tap or no? So okay, maybe Matt, you are the problem. I don't know. But yeah, it's people are saying it's okay. Didn't hear the tap.
Didn't hear the tap. That's interesting. I might be talking through your mic.
Yes, give me.
But can I just keep going, or I guess no.
I don't know. Give me a second. I'm gonna go and check to see here.
Okay.
So muted, not muted. I'm just checking if stuff is muted here. We are not muted.
No.
Come on here. So we're gonna check this out right now. We have our wonderful Tirzo joining us here to check. Yeah, okay, no tap on his microphone. So we're trying to see. Could be StreamYard. 1 second. Yes.
Ooh. Chat. No, the problem was me. Laptop microphone. So first of all, shout outs to
Hey,
Apple
pretty
and
good.
their quality
Pretty
of
good
microphones.
pickup. Pretty good pickup.
Yeah, so I think you should hear us now properly, right?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Check 1, 2.
Check
I won't
1,
tap
2.
the mic because I think I can see the bar moving pretty well.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I think we're okay now.
Thank
yeah.
you, Matt,
So,
for
Thank you, Matt,
calling
and
us.
thank you, Chat. Also, by the way, yeah. Okay. Whoa, yeah.
Yes.
See, wait, yeah. That's kind
Okay.
of worse. Is it worse?
Is it worse?
Okay.
Okay.
How is it worse? Or is it just too loud?
Hmm.
I'm legit. Tell us in the chat if it's okay. It should be okay. We done tests with this thing. Oh, we had some static in between. Sorry, y'all. No. You are not damper regular. It's a little worse and staticky. Oh.
Staticky. Was that just what? Oh, now it's remains static.
Yeah, it's staticky. Okay, so
Staticky.
we're trying to check this one out right now. So give us 1 second. Something's rubbing against the mic and causing static. Could be my beard, but I
It's
don't
possible.
think so.
It's possible.
Yeah, we're trying to figure this one out. Also, shout outs to Hey Ganesh, it's been a while. Ghost in the sound system, indeed.
That's right.
Indeed. Okay, so we're gonna do some microphone changes right now. So give us a second while we figure this one out. Go back to the Mac microphone. Man, I am I'm wondering if I have a better microphone here to kind of show. Okay, I'm gonna switch back to the previous mic just for a second, and then we're gonna go ahead and
So David, keep on talking until we fix this.
Sure. I mean, ultimately, this
we're
is
tasks. Okay.
this is ultimately what the output of it was.
Okay.
These are my rabbits. These are my pet rabbits.
Okay.
Well, this is a wild rabbit that I saw in Japan.
Okay.
This is Gandalf the Gray because he's gray. This is Lilu here,
Okay.
and this is Laszlo. So I decided because I needed some things that I could actually show here. So I decided like, okay, I'll just tag my pet rabbits. And these are some rabbits from this island in Japan that has just a lot of
I heard about that.
thousands of wild rabbits. Anyway, took those pictures, but yeah.
Okay,
So this
okay.
is what it is ultimately. Like users can tag, they can upload. I guess I could show you just the flow of this thing. I'll just re-upload this one, copy image address. Let's upload one. Yeah, kind of put that in there.
Okay.
Type whatever the title. title, but I could add tags myself, but I
Okay.
could also, now this is the new awesome feature, analyze
With AI.
Is
Is this sending it off to like some sort of a service out there? Like,
That's right.
Yeah.
It's going kind of through my backend
Mhm.
service to an image recognition service, text extraction
Yeah.
service.
Yeah.
And it said, yeah, there's a rabbit in there.
that's right. Okay, sure. Okay.
Cool, upload. And so then it just finishes uploading. And there it is. All done. Now I'll just delete it because this was just junk.
But so here's the thing, like you could have done this through, of course, through like your typical vibe coding, right? That's
Mhm.
not a problem. But when it comes to having additional control here, like
Mhm.
being able to, come back and add requirements to
Yeah.
it, or like, so for example, you built this application, you finish your vibe
Oh, yeah.
coding session, right?
Yeah.
And then you go back and like, oh, I want to add this other thing to it.
Well, let's talk about that
Yeah.
because that's a great example. Because we are on Twitch, and I figure there are a lot of people out there who are degenerates. That I needed to actually add authentication because I didn't
Exactly.
want to add authentication at first because I thought it would be fun and open.
Exactly.
But I'm like, okay, well, I don't want anybody doing anything here on Twitch.
Yeah.
So I said I created a new spec.
Okay.
In this case, I didn't add to the existing spec. I just created a new one, and I said I want to add Auth0.
Okay.
Auth0 is a
Okay. Yeah.
it's a service out there that helps you do auth.
Okay.
I guess, and I said let's do that so that it protects all the uploading and tagging and,
Okay.
and all those APIs, and it just comes up with user stories. And so this said, okay, as a site owner, I want to do these things, like all these, like it came up with the design for it. Oh, thank you.
Okay. We're gonna be replacing
The
some.
whole thing with my-
We're replacing microphones right now.
Thank you.
Here's you can come into the camera. We're off
Yeah,
camera.
that's
You don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
So Auth0. We have Auth0
Yeah,
here.
so it just basically said he came up with the all that. You knew that I would have to do some, and it broke down into tasks, and it knew that I would have to do some work myself
Mhm.
to in Auth0.
Okay.
I would have to go to Auth0 and do some setup. And so it actually wrote me a file that said one of its tasks was to give me an instructions file that told me how to go
Okay.
do that, and it was
Okay.
great. It's fantastic. So it did all that, and it was done. So it's this. You can see here in the specs,
Mhm.
there are a bunch of. There's the original spec, and I think this is an interesting thing. There's the original spec, but I think we're going to still see a lot of how people decide to use these.
Yeah.
Because I find that I kind of create a spec for each new significant feature I'm adding, but I still have the spec that describes the overall project.
So that was going to be my follow-up question here. So when it comes to specs here, how encompassing the spec should be, right? Is it a single spec per one application, or is it a spec per feature, or is it even a spec per, I don't know, a feature of a feature or something like that? Like how granular do you think?
I don't know. I think we're going to see a lot of just people trying stuff out and
Yeah.
using it. I'll show you what I've done that I found
Okay.
successful. I had a spec for, actually there was a fix that open telemetry wasn't working, so I wanted to really spend some time troubleshooting it. So while it was doing that, it wrote me some debug scripts that I could run to test different things out. I wanted to do a bit of a refactor. I don't remember what that was. I added deletion. I didn't add deletion at first, so a couple days ago I added that. I needed to migrate it upgrade it to Node 22. And so that was like, that's a big change.
Yeah.
That it actually requires a lot of steps. So that kind of thing. I think that's like we'll see how people use it in the end, but I find each significant feature, I just add a new spec.
See, I feel like this is a whole thing now, where if
Oh, and actually, while I mentioned it,
Yes.
sorry to interrupt. While we're talking, I could just start a new feature
let's start a new feature.
while
And
we're chatting.
while David is doing that, I'm gonna stand on my little soapbox here and talk about.
Take the
Oh, screen
camera.
off. Okay, let me get the screen off. So a little thing about specs here. What I foresee this, and David, listen as I'm talking. I want your expert opinion on this one. Is that I feel like
Oh, you can give it back. Sorry.
oh okay.
Sorry about that.
I feel like we're going to be coming into a point where people are going to start sharing specs.
Yeah.
So like for
sure.
example, for a given feature, if you want to implement a feature to your specific application, here's a good spec for it, right?
Yeah.
And some of them will be pretty much portable, right?
Mhm.
Like of course, if there are some incredible specifics to an application, sure, maybe that won't work. But even just a requirements doc could be ported between two people. Like if you want to implement Auth0 to your application, here's the requirement doc, because the requirement doc doesn't really care what the stack is. It
That's
cares
true.
about the user stories, right?
That's true. The user stories are like, get a little more specific to the APIs of the application. It could be a starting point.
Yeah.
And these like particularly shareable cross project things where
Yeah.
it's like starting a new project. I found those to be really useful as hooks, as agent steering.
Okay.
So there's this
Okay.
section here called agent steering. And
Okay. So what is that?
We haven't talked about. Let's just open one up while this is going. By the way, what I kicked off, excuse me, here, what we're scrolling through is I said while we're signed in, just right in the, if you remember in the app, it just says kind of my initials here.
Right.
Let's display the user's birthday date.
Okay. Sure. Okay, fine. I guess.
Yeah, and then if it is their birthday, we'll tell them that it's their birthday.
Okay.
This is an homage to a very famous skit on YouTube where there's all this consternation about adding a birthday date to a web page and how difficult that is. Shout out to Kazam, because that has stayed with me for as long as that video has been out. It's so fun. So we're going to add the birthday date. It was really hard in the video to add the birthday date to the page. And so let's add it here. So that's what this prompt is. That's what it's doing right now.
Okay.
It's just going through, coming up with a spec to do that. Oh, it's actually figured out the requirements already.
Okay.
So let's actually take a look. It just says, I mean, we can skim this. We're going to add the birthday date for signed-in users, which is only me.
Exactly. Okay. But it's so it's a typical user story, right? As a signed-in user,
that's right.
Okay.
And then it'll provide, do a visual thing. Great. So let's just say move on to design, and it'll just keep going. So fantastic. So
Awesome.
anyway, while this is going,
Okay. So, but comments here like, do you think you know what it takes to tell the user it's their birthday? Exactly. Well,
exactly. I see people have seen this Kazam. It is incredible.
Well, it says Kazam Ben, so I'm not sure if that's.
I think you're right. Hello, Ben.
Amazing. Is that really Kazam Ben?
That
Oh my
is,
god.
yeah.
Oh my god. Shout outs, man. Should we switch? Can we switch the microphones? Okay. So chat. Bear with us. We're switching microphones. How do we sound now, David?
How about now?
How about now?
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear us now?
Good.
There's a slight delay here. With between us and what's going to happen in the chat. But let us know if you hear us well. You sound like Darko. I do sound like Darko. That's pretty good. I hope so.
Good.
But let us know.
Hopefully
if there's
that's
some
not
static.
me you were talking to. Hopefully they were talking to Darko.
You need to lose a lot more hair and grow a beard, just so you know. Okay, so this is happening, and you click the button that says "Move on to design phase," and this generated the design doc right now, right? So the design doc here, and specifically, now design doc is a stack specific thing. Like it's kind of harder to move this around.
Oh, sure.
But because you will see here the actual component structures and you potentially some data flow and even some like interfaces.
Yeah, code snippets. This is like kind of how it's gonna do all this. Update, test, how it's gonna test it, all that.
Okay, good.
So let's I don't know. I'll vibe design it.
Vibe design it, okay.
Looks good to me.
Looks good to me, and ship it. So now what's gonna happen is gonna go ahead and create some tasks here. And again, the fact that you can go back to this and you can modify it.
Oh yeah.
Can you re-trigger an existing spec? Like, so for example, I would love to try this. So like, once this thing is implemented, like you say, oh, by the way, no, use the ISO.
What's the ISO timestamps?
Chat, what's the ISO number for the date format? ISO 2701. I don't know. Chat is going to tell us, but that ISO number, like, would it be able to kind of update this, or is that a new spec here? 8601.
I could add it to the spec and say, hey, go through those tasks, and like I can say regenerate the tasks. That's kind of hidden as I'm zoomed in here. Update tasks, and it'll kind of regenerate the tasks if we add it. But I'm just going to say like, actually, let's. I guess it's going to give me a little summary, but I'm just going to say, okay, go ahead and implement all the tasks. I think I could just hit a button, but sometimes I like talking to it.
Okay, of course.
Okay, so it's just going to run through, and so this will be kind of just doing it. Last time I added this feature last night. I had a fancy version of it that blows a bunch of confetti. Took it an extra 10 minutes, so I'm not having the confetti part. But I can cooking show this if we have to. But let's just let this go. This will go for a while.
I mean, the thing with coding assistants, it's the adventure. It's not the destination.
Yes.
It's the adventure that gets us there. So we kind of hope that it's kind of successfully out. Does its thing. So
I mean, it's been pretty good. I mean, pretty reliable.
One of the things that I found that like since coding assistants came to be, and like my job is to talk to people, demo stuff, has been the absolute inconsistency of being able to show stuff on screen.
Oh, sure.
Because I never know. I just
adventures in non-determinism.
Exactly. So but so as they're doing this, we want to get to the steering docs in a second. But I want to. So you've been using this product for a while right now. You've been testing it internally for like
a couple months, few
months.
Yeah.
And you've been using these kind of coding assistants as well inside of like a production team. Can you give us maybe some insight in how people in developer teams and production teams use, now, maybe not spec-driven development yet, but like coding assistance, how does that all kind of pan out in a let's
In a
say
team
bigger,
setting.
in a team setting?
In
yes.
team setting, well, it's sharing the specs.
Sharing the specs.
Like all that. The specs are, that is the plan of record from the past and the future.
Yeah.
So the specs are checked into source code,
Yeah.
source control, and and shared. So that's part of it. So are the steering, which we'll talk about later. So that's all checked in. It's a nice way to share development practices. We actually have for our larger teams, we have some steering files. Steering files just kind of tell it, oh, by the way, reminder, this is my technology stack. This is how I do observability. You can share those even with broader teams, because maybe you have several teams, adjacent teams nearby, who also have a similar tool set, internal tool set, whatever.
Yeah.
And so you can share those steering files. For the specs, how do teams, now you said, how am I seeing people use it?
Right.
Well, I mean, there's a funny story about this actually, because so over the last couple months, I've been using it a bunch, and I would find, so if this were happening during my day job, I would probably tab away and do something else at the same time, right? This would be behind the screen. And I would every now and then come back to it, and it said it was like waiting for my approval to run some command. Yep. And now the command approval has gotten like really nice now. So I don't have to do that as much. It's more streamlined now. But still, I'll tab away and do something. And so I needed. It wasn't managing my attention at the time. It wasn't popping up a notification to say, "Hey, waiting for you to do something. I'm done with this. You need to hit the button next." Yeah. So I would come back 20 minutes later and say, "Oh, it was waiting on for me." I felt bad because it was blocked. It was blocked. And so I needed to. I wish I could have unblocked it. So I said, "Okay, hey Kiro team, what can you do here?" And they said, "Well, we have a lot of features on our backlog that we're working on. We know we want to add notifications, but we think it's going to take about a solid week to get that done, because notifications." I've never done this before, but notifications on desktop apps, it's multi-platform. You have to write it for the same thing 3 times. Yeah. It involves a lot of inter-process communication, message passing. Yep. It's actually kind of complicated to send up, to get the maybe not the birthday date, we're going to get that done here, but maybe to get notifications is a little harder. And so, so once Kiro got to the point where the Kiro team was building with Kiro, then it became such that they could do spec-driven development to build Kiro. And so they decided, well, let's write a spec that says we want to have notifications in Kiro. This is what Kiro is, and this is, so it wasn't modifying its like own instance of the code, right? Obviously, but yeah, so it implemented in like a couple days end to end. Maybe it was less than that. I don't remember. I think it was 2 weeks to 2 days. Some absurd compression of time, and they just wouldn't have had time to do this. So that's what I'm seeing teams like get to is in their production systems, their production applications, is to be able to get things done that are just deeper on the backlog that they can in practice get to.
And that's kind of the whole thing. I love it, but at the same time, you still feel in control.
Oh yeah.
One of the things that I don't like to kind of let it go in autopilot and do its own thing. However, because of a spec file here, I always can come back to it and say like, oh, it has done exactly these things. Like I know it has executed task number 2, create the birthday indicator component, and I can kind of like double check it into the code. It's not like it just goes and explodes a bunch of files.
Yeah, every time I click on the diff and like this is, well, I guess this is a create of the new file.
Right, exactly.
Man, this is really hard to do.
I know, zoomed in. I know. But it actually, like, you can see that it's kind of like as it's kind of progressing down through the task, you see how you see exactly what it's done.
Yeah, see, this is what and I can see task 2, it just finished this, and this is what it did. So I know it's about to get on to 3 now.
Right.
It's going to implement the data model.
Exactly. Can you revert? Like, like for example, if you don't like it, can you
I don't want to do it right now. I don't want to mess it up.
Yeah, of course. So you can
undo changes. Yeah. I actually also wrote a thing. I found that actually I don't think I have this hook or steering enabled right now, but I find that I like it after each task. This is just a personal preference. I say add everything that's pending and do a git commit. Actually, let's see if maybe it is doing that. I don't remember. Let's see how we get status. How are we doing right now? No, it did. Well, maybe.
Yeah, it is. User birthday display. There's a spec.
It's fixed layout at top. No, that's what I did before. So it is not actually. It's no. So I must have that off right now. But I found that was a nice kind of steering reminder. Say, hey, every time you complete a task, just do a commit with a nice message. I've had that on for other projects that I like a lot.
Okay. before we continue, before we talk about steering docs,
Okay.
there's a question here from Matt. Can you go into any details why we forked VS Code instead of just using a plugin?
I think I don't know all of the details about
Yeah.
this, but I do know that we wanted to have there are some things that you have to do.
Yeah, you can do it with a plugin.
Yeah,
right?
so a lot when we get into some of the more multimodal things, they just actually can't be implemented as a plugin.
Exactly. Like the plugin system of VS Code is incredibly powerful. However, it can't do everything. So like this whole fork.
You can still use other VS Code
Exactly.
plugins. Like
Yeah,
I still use other VS Code plugins alongside it, so
Exactly.
it's not like it's that disruptive.
Exactly. So it still gives you the same experience as like a VS Code thing.
Yeah.
But this is the same story I've heard. Just like the limitations of the plugin system of what a plugin can do for you as a developer is rather limited compared to like having its own dedicated fork.
Yeah, and you'll see me fumbling around a little. It is VS Code interface, but you'll see me fumbling around with shortcuts a little bit because I haven't been using VS Code before this. I had been using more IntelliJ and a little Emacs.
I just want
here and there.
Let's not get into the Emacs thing. I do have something tattooed.
Well, I do that also. I do Vim also. Yeah.
But I am shout outs to I see Nathan here. Is Nathan, when is a Vim version of Kiro coming out?
Yeah, let's put it in.
Yes.
That's a very powerful, extensible thing.
Exactly.
We might be able to do that native as a plugin, maybe.
Fork NeoVim, make it.
Might not need a fork yet. That has a lot of a lot of stuff that you can build into that without having to fork. So maybe
Vim plugins are way more superior than VS Code plugins. I'm just saying. Okay. So a question here from Damo Gallagher. Is Kiro planning to stay up with date with Visual Studio Code improvements? By the way, folks, we have a couple of people in chat here. I'm sure they can potentially answer, but I'm going to assume yes. I mean, it's following, it's a fork, but I think it's using the open source version of code.
That's right. There's a thing that underpins VS Code. I forget what it's called.
Okay.
That's ultimately what we're up to date with. It's not literally, it's the thing underneath VS Code. I don't know the terminology for this. I need to learn this.
Yeah, something. Our friends from Microsoft have this whole thing underneath the. So
I forget what it's called. Maybe somebody in the chat.
Somebody in the chat will know. But yes, absolutely, it's gonna be work. That's fine. Shake 808 says desktop notification came to mind for something that can be done easily via plugins. Oh, and we talked about that. A plugin can't notify you. So there you go. I didn't know that. So thank you, Jake.
Oh, I see. So that could have been
done in a plugin, right? So like there you go.
Wow, that's surprising. But yeah, great. Well, good thing it wasn't.
I mean, here's the thing, like because from what I found, VS Code runs in Electron as the framework, and maybe plugins can't send something through. Could be. Yeah. So
they're right. They're kind of in their own kind of contained spots. It makes sense. I mean, it's hard to be able to make a plugin that can do anything. Like to make a framework for a plugin that can do anything. I worked on framework teams that built like the web service frameworks that all of AWS and Amazon run on, and there's always a tension of we want it to work, and our team is accountable for it always working, but people want infinite extension points, and it's really hard to provide that to kind of like access to the internals. So I empathize with that. Plugins can only do so much because that's what it's like to own a framework.
I know.
So it makes sense.
Okay, so chat, I want to share something with you all. Since this is a new, by the way, Kiro is free. While in preview, it's free. Kiro, I will drop a link in the chat. Kiro.dev. It's let me do the thing. I will drop a link in the chat so you can go and check and download Kiro right now. It's available for all major platforms for free. You can use it. You can log in with whatever way, shape, or form you want. Builder ID, I think Google, GitHub, whatever. All of those kind of social logins are available there. And you can also participate in something else. So I'm gonna get a link. Okay. We have a hackathon. Yes. So I'm gonna spin up a thing here. Kiro Dev Post. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen for a second here. Share screen. I'm gonna use allow. Share entire screen. Yes, there we go. That's the one. Okay, friends, look at this. There is a Code with Kiro hackathon. So basically, it's a challenge for you folks out there to go and build something with Kiro. We have a grand total of $100,000 in prizes. You should definitely go and check out the fine print who can participate, because there's a whole thing out there. Okay. But basically, it's something that we want you to go ahead and build something with Kiro. Productivity tools, games, meme tagging applications,
Sure.
educational, whatever, right? We want you to submit to us a 3-minute video of that demo. We want you to kind of like, we want to see how you've built this using, vibe coding, used agent hooks, use spec to code. We want to see you use all these features. Provide a URL to this thing, like an open source repo or something, and tell us also what you're submitting. You can basically, and also include a write-up how you've used Kiro for this. First place, $30,000. Second place, $15,000. Third place, $10,000. I mean, come on. I mean, it's there's so many cool things out there you can go and build. Go and check this one out. I'll drop this link in the chat as well. Deadline is August 25th, which gives you a month and 10 days to have all of this thing. We have all your 38 participants. We just launched. So
we're adding the birthday date in 20 minutes. So I can't imagine what you'll get done in a month
exactly,
and a half.
yeah.
A
So
month and 10 days.
If he manages to add the birthday date, I mean, maybe you win all the $100,000 for this one. So
I don't think I'm allowed. It's fine print. That's a fine print. Fine print.
True. So Kiro.devpost.com. I'm going to pop this link in the chat. You should definitely go and give this thing a look, because we want you to do it. And by the way, as you're doing this, feel free to both tag David and myself on social media. You can find us on LinkedIn's and I don't know what kind of other sites.
Blue Sky, whatever.
Blue Skies, yeah, the Butterfly website, and definitely go and check it out. And we would love to see what you build. Definitely. Now, what I would love to see, David, is I would love to see this thing called the steering dock.
Oh, right.
Have we came up with the name steering dock, or is that a thing that existed in the past? Because
I don't know.
Because I know Cursor, shout out to Cursor,
Yeah.
they use something called rules.
Yeah, there's some similar
Right?
concepts.
It's similar. Is it the same thing as rules, or like is it slightly different?
I don't know. You see this as a question for me. I'm gonna have to give that question back to you. Do you
Okay.
know?
Yes. Well,
okay,
yes.
okay,
It's Cursor rules are basically just big old context files that
yeah.
tells certain things how it can do it. It's just additional context into
Yeah,
LLM,
we're seeing
so.
IDEs like, in vibe coding kind of notice that some of these things are really helpful to have that kind of common reminders about like, okay, here's the world that we live in for this particular thing. So similar concept, I guess. Yeah.
So do you want to show us the steering docks
Sure.
so we can see them? I'm gonna bring your screen up.
Sure.
It's
it's still rolling, so I don't
still
kind
rolling,
of
that's
mess
fine,
with
that's
it, but I'll pull them up.
I think you can pull it up.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
So while David is doing that, I'm gonna do actually I'm gonna remove the chat. Chat, I'm gonna do the thing that we all need to do. New product comes up.
Oh yeah, got it.
New sticker goes on the laptop.
Oh.
So as David is pulling up his thing here, the steering docks, I'm gonna go ahead and try to peel this, because we need these things. Oh, this is a beautiful sticker. Isn't this a beautiful sticker? I love these little things. So it's gonna go over here right between Datadog and No Starch Press.
Very nice.
There we go.
Oh well. Oh, this is a big moment. I see. Yeah.
It's a big moment, my friends. Look at that.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Looks good. Looks
good.
Yep.
Can I make it shine? Look at that. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
A couple questions here.
That is shiny.
Al Harris says, "How do we get all that sticker?" I mean, Al, I don't know, man. You need to know a guy to know a guy.
I suppose
and,
that's true. Yeah.
I think we can hook you up. Okay.
So this is a steering dock. I mean, it's so actually, you know what? I think I actually didn't even write these. So if I could delete these right now. If I delete, but it's messy. I don't want to mess with it.
Yeah.
It would say, do you want to just generate them?
Okay.
So I just click generate steering docs, and it just then it spends the time. It puts a little bit of effort into. Let me just scan everything that you already have. Because like, how do you bring spec-driven development to something you already have? Well, it's helpful for it to go through and learn about what you have.
Yes,
and so that's why steering docs, it generated these. It's like it separated them into the structure of the code and how maybe I think how unit tests are run.
Right. Here's
the directory structure. Here's where to find the React app. Here's where to find the infrastructure as code, the backend API implementation, all that stuff. It's just useful for it to know up front. The product, it says, okay, here's what from all the code, all the readmes, it says, here's what I think this thing's about. It actually looks at the, also looks at the spec files if you have them. And yeah, comes up with the tech, here's the stack that they seem to be using, the services that they pick. Because what you don't want to have happen is you write a new spec that adds a little bit more functionality, and it picks a totally different universe of framework, right? That would be unfortunate. So this
one of the
helps
17 million Node.js frameworks. Right?
Exactly. So this keeps it focused. So that's what all steering is. That's pretty simple.
And from what I see here, steering is specifically kind of targeted towards a project level, right? These are not global steering docs, right? They could
can.
be. They could be, right?
In fact, that's how I removed them from this. But my larger team has some steering that we just now add by default to all of our projects.
Yes.
So it actually isn't, or even company wide,
Yeah.
to say, hey, this is the observability stack we're using as a company. So actually we do, and then we have a way of sharing that. So it's a really, you can actually have other plugins add steering. So anyway, so yeah, it's a really nice way of bootstrapping things and being on the same page, so that you're not just at the whim of random non-determinism to decide what you want to use for a particular project if you're trying to stay somewhat cohesive as a team or a company.
And this is the thing, like, you know, when this whole LLM thing started, and you know, we talked about prompt engineering. Yeah. And what's happening right now, of course, we have prompts, but prompt generation is getting so much more sophisticated.
That's right.
So what we're trying to do here, and I'm going to steal this quote from somebody. Somebody put it online. Somebody called it context engineering.
Oh, sure.
Where you start to kind of engineer your way with a bunch of context files, with steering docs, with whatever things you need to do. So your LLM, so your coding assistant, Kiro, can do a really good job at building your stuff.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, ultimately, it's like, it's actually just letting me, I'm lazy. I'm a lazy person. And I think this has made me a pretty good programmer over the years. That laziness, that's sort of been what I chase. I've been chasing how I can be, what it really means. It's a funny way of saying it, but really I want to make my life easier and easier and be able to get more and more done. And so that's why I've chased after this thing all my whole career of how can I make it easier for myself and other programmers? So like there was this, I was having to operate systems and you need to stand up a database to help you operate that system. Well, then you have to do a database ops and that's tedious. So that's why I kind of chased after NoSQL. How do we make database ops just go away? That with serverless, that with API gateways, that with observability. And so this is so great that it is helping you just remove the, so now we have vibe coding. And so now you just prompt and that gets a lot done just from a prompt, but I'm lazy. And I'd have to write a really big prompt, prompt every time. Yeah, exactly. I'd have to say, well, I have to add all this stuff to the prompt. Oh, I forgot to say, don't forget that I'm using open telemetry. And if I forgot to say that in my prompt, it might, so exactly. I agree with you completely.
So let's do this. I think I want to go ahead and I want to bring up my Kiro because we haven't done this yet. So share my screen. Share, you allow. Do I want to do a specific screen? You know what? Let's see. Can I do this? Okay. Chat, you should be able to see my thing. Let's see. There's a thing. Okay. No, not that. Yes. Okay. You can see my Kiro. Okay. So I've opened up a project here. So, and my project is literally a little Rust application I built in the past, and I have no steering docs here. So on the left-hand side here, little ghost, no steering docs. See there. So if I go ahead and click Generate Steering Docs, it's going to go ahead and, as David said, you're going to look through my project, look through my README file, look through my code, and based off this repository, it's going to generate the steering doc. Now, could I write it myself? Absolutely. Do I write my context files? No, I do not. Even with other tools where I have a bunch of system prompts that I use constantly, I go to an LLM and ask it to generate me a system prompt for specific things because it will do it faster. I will tweak it and all those things. So as a key, looks at the constants, looks at my files. Now it looks at my whole project here, and it gets all like even the source code, not just the README files. So
that's right. Figuring it all out.
Okay.
Explore everything.
Create product MD. Okay. Shook is a command line tool for uploading files of any size to Amazon S3 buckets. Upload files, target users, core workflow, user runs. That's it. Interesting. So this is just about the product. So it's one steering file for the product. It's creating another steering product for the tech.
It's nice and compact. These statements are nice and compact for the LLM to consume without using a lot of space.
Exactly.
Memory.
So tech says it says Rust 2021. It uses Tokayo. It uses Davis SDK, Clap, Anyhow, Serde, Indicative. All of these things it's using. The build system.
Even
Look at that. Things it can use.
That's nice for it to remind it. Here's how I'm running this because it's going to need to do it all the time. So it's good for it not to have to figure that out every time.
Exactly. And lastly, create a file called structure, and this is just creates a little tree here that it shows me like how my files look like. The core modules explain which file is what. And again, your LLM can figure this one out as it's going. but it doesn't have to,
Mhm.
right? Because it has all of these things in the structure. It doesn't have to go and ahead and read the whole main RS file and whatnot, but it has all of these things kind of condensed
Yeah.
into these things, and that's it. Now
Yeah.
I can add custom things here. I can
Oh,
just
yeah.
add a new document here,
Mhm.
like I don't know, let's say
Observability stack. Well, I guess you and I can have that for a command line, but whatever.
well, you know what? Let's do something like this.
Oh.
Infrastructure, right? So I can add rules here. Oh, look at this little comment here. Is this a comment? Would this be a folks in the chat, especially folks who built Kiro? Is this meant to be a comment? Can I comment my steering docs like this, or is this just for the looks? This looks like a big old HTML comment. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm watching it. We'll see if
Yeah.
they say anything.
So I can say here for infrastructure, actually just infrastructure to deployment. And I'm going to do this because of Chris here. Always use Terraform for infrastructure on AWS.
Great.
So
You could have also prompted it to write the steering.
Yeah,
doc,
of
but-
course,
But this is nice that you. But you can also.
you can do the stuff for
do it
yourself,
by
right?
hand.
Like,
Yep, exactly.
you
That's
know,
nice.
I don't know. I can say build custom modules. Use the what's the
I'm a CDK person. I'm afraid.
same, but I'm trying to figure out there's a specific Terraform name for a thing. It's not the AWS module. It's the AWS.
Let me look it up.
It's the AWS. Oh my God. A thing.
Modules,
Not-
registry, plugin.
It's a plugin. Is it a
Provider?
plugin? Provider. That's the word. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
first
Use
try.
the official AWS provider, right? And say this. And now this is again used as part of my whole thing, right?
Mhm.
And if I go ahead here and tell it, let's do a little vibe coding. I think it's going to be fine.
Sure.
If I just go into the vibe coding and say like, I need to be able to run deploy.sh and it should create the necessary infrastructure in my account.
Oh, nice.
So
Mhm.
hopefully because it knows this, it's going to use Terraform, right?
Right.
It should be able to understand that this is all about Terraform.
Yeah.
It shouldn't go ahead and pick like.
This is for like deploying the command line tool to like make
Well,
it
no,
available
so
to
like,
others. Or?
no, it just uploads to an S3 bucket. But if I want to
okay,
create an S3 bucket, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to go ahead here. It's going to
Oh,
say
there it is. Yep.
Yeah.
And it says it's going to create a Terraform infrastructure.
exactly. So
Yeah.
based on the whole thing.
Yeah, that's great.
Beautiful.
Right.
Super love it. I think it's such a great feature. Now, this is nothing revolutionary, but it offers you a convenient way for an existing project, existing thing you were doing, to have it here. But chat. If I chmod +X deploy, sure, why not? It's always safe. Okay, it's fine. Okay, yeah, that's okay. I was like, what is this? A warning? No, it's fine. But chat. Look at this here. So I'm going to show you a little Kiro./steering. This is where the steering docs exist. So if you want to go ahead, you can go and commit them into your repository.
That's how I do it. Yeah.
And you can share them. Somebody in chat asked, like, is steering sharing going to be part of this demo? Well, here it is.
Yeah.
Like, now we can give you our steering docs, but let's be honest, steering docs is going to be beneficial for your project.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody out there right now, as we're talking,
Right.
is going to go ahead and create a website called steering.dev or something like that.
Sure.
Go ahead and register that domain, steering.dev, and somebody's going to make a collection of all the steering docs people collect, right?
Yeah, I can
So,
imagine that. Yeah. Sure.
So, hey.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
seems
know.
like that kind of that bootstrapping, and we don't know how they'll be used yet. Like if I have a tool, I might want to help other people use it, so I'll write steering so that people can use my tool well too.
Exactly,
So, yeah,
exactly,
I can
exactly.
see that. So this project is a command line.
It's a command line tool. Yeah.
Now, since you have it open, if you want, we haven't talked about hooks yet.
We haven't talked about hooks. Yes.
And there's
okay.
my kind of favorite example of hooks
Okay.
is we can use this at different places if this doesn't work out.
Okay.
But when I write command line tools, I wrote one the other day. I
Okay.
wrote a website scraper
Okay.
Because I wanted to be able to, not scraper, but a
You
link
were
checker.
the one that's scraping. Okay.
Yeah, no. It was a link checker. I found some internal sites inside of a company that were broken,
Okay.
and I was like, well, that's weird. Those shouldn't be broken.
Okay.
What other links are broken? And so that kind of led me onto a side quest.
Okay.
But I didn't have time for the side quest. But with Kiro, I did have
Okay.
time for the side
Okay.
quest. So I said, write a broken link finder. And what I found with this is it's run by the command line. Every time I added a new command line parameter, like only do it this many per
Okay,
second,
okay.
use Selenium for these URLs, that type of thing. I could prompt it to say, hey, go update the README now,
Yeah.
so that to give me an example of that. So what I did was I wrote a hook. A hook is something that runs, it triggers when you save a file or when you manually run it, or there are a few different events like that, but mainly like I use them for saving files. So when I save the file, there's always in a command line application, there's one file that kind of parses all of the inputs and everything. I said, every time I update that file, I want you to look at it and then update my README with really good examples on how to, all those command line examples, descriptions of that and everything. Just a human readable user guide for the command line.
Yeah. We can do this. We can absolutely do this here. So I'm going to show you. So this thing is finished.
Oh yeah,
Great,
we're in the middle
excellent.
of something.
But no, we finished it.
Oh,
so
good.
It's good.
Okay.
It created all the Terraform files. Now I don't know Terraform that much, but I'm sure it's fine. So main TF, we have a HashiCorp, AWS, the official thing. Okay, the random thing generates.
Oh yeah, this is the Terraform. Right,
yeah. Okay. So it created all those things. I mean, I don't know. Fine. Oh, it even created custom modules. Look at that. I told it to create custom modules, and it created custom modules from the buckets.
These are creating the bucket. Yeah.
It didn't necessarily have to do it like this,
And
but
added server-side encryption. That's a good idea.
yeah. Great. Okay. Excellent.
Good practice.
Good practice. So, but let's talk about hooks. So, when you go to hooks here, you can create an agent hook when an event occurs. Prompt to send to the agent, something happens, right?
Yeah.
And my cynical developer in me, like, well, we had that back in 1997, right? A file is triggered, you go and do a thing.
Yeah, make files.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, that's true. However, for events for things that are natural language heavy, creation of generation of documents, generation of code, this is incredibly useful, right? So let's do the same example here. So let's in my little command line application, every time I add a new command line parameter, update the README file with an example usage.
Yeah.
Right?
Should be enough. Yeah.
So click on this, and it's actually not gonna just use that. It's gonna use that thing to generate a big old hook.
Yeah.
Right?
A plan. Yeah.
Yeah. So you will see here, it's gonna go ahead and generate a little hook because it uses also my streaming docs for that. Hook has been created successfully, and if I go back to my hooks, open up here, monitors main RS for new command line parameters and updates the README file with the example usage.
You like turned it into a more precise specification for what you said, and it found the file.
It found the file. Let's see here, it's main RS. I pointed at the screen because of course.
Oh yeah.
So and then there's this entire instruction for the Kiro agent. A new command line parameter has been added to SRC main RS. Please analyze the changes and update README MD file with appropriate example usage. Right. So if I go here and let's see. I don't even know what kind of parameter can we add here. So I have I'm going to do an about or something. What kind of parameter? Let's add something silly. Let's.
What about like birthday? Birthday? Yeah, I mean whatever you want. But
sure, let's do it.
You're adding.
Add another command parameter that will ask the user about their birth.
Oh, you're going to go full on. Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
I mean, I usually go for it. And we don't want to block on it.
About the user and store that thing, store that date in the config file.
Sure. I usually use hooks. So there are steering and there are hooks. They do fairly similar things if you think about it.
Yes.
Like it's all about making sure we take care of things. Like, oh, if I update the API definition here, I want to also update it in here and here. So I find I use hooks mostly when I'm taking the wheel
stuff. Yes.
It's sort of like hooks. I mean, I think we're going to see how people use hooks over time. But I've found hooks to be really useful for basically things that I don't want to forget to do when I'm doing it.
Yes.
So like if I'm going to update the file and take the steering wheel, if you will, then when I save it, it will go kick off those other things. Often for this specific use case, if it's doing the vibe coding, it probably would update the README on its own.
Yes.
And especially if I put it in steering.
Exactly.
So anyway, it's just there are kind of a few different approaches to workflows, and I like that flexibility.
Exactly.
And we've added a few because everybody has a different workflow, especially because everybody's figuring out what the right workflow is. That's kind of what Kiro is a new workflow.
Yep.
And so I like the flexibility.
Exactly. I agree. And that's kind of the whole thing, right? Now, as I said, if I went here into my main RS file and just did like a bunch of changes, right? If I done this stuff here and hit save,
Yeah, exactly.
it detects that save and it does something with it. Now, actually, I'm actually considering this thing here. It's been a while since I wrote this application. I think actually it made a mistake because my parameters are.
Oh, in a different file.
I'm actually trying to see if they're in a different file. I don't even know. So it's been a while. It's been a while. I use collapse. Okay, so it's in a util here. That's a function.
That's where it added this update birthday.
Yeah, but I'm like looking. Is it? Where's my command line parameters? Is it collapse?
Well, here's an arguments parse.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. So it is.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just using that. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, that's fine.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. But
oh, I see. I suppose I guess Rust is a little different. Where does it actually grab out? Oh, so in this case, I guess it would be your config class that you'd probably want to.
Yeah. So I'm wondering where does it pick it up for? I usually don't keep my argument parsing in main RS.
Yeah, right. Makes sense. Arguments.birthdays. Oh, that's where.
Okay. So
Yeah.
How do I know this? Check for config. See, that's the whole.
It might be.
thing.
So when I have it factored like this, I generally have it trigger off. If there's a config class, that ultimately it's the config class, like the configuration class
Exactly.
that I'll like. That's what I trigger off of because that's the source of truth. The argument parsing is just like the means to that end.
Exactly. Yeah, it's actually doing something different. I don't think I even have a config class.
I see. Okay.
I'm just raw parsing.
Got it.
Things here.
Well,
so,
there you go.
Yeah. But
I should mention if we want to jump off of hooks,
let's jump off and do something else.
It just finished. It's scrolling all of its victory lap right now.
Okay, so we're gonna bring back David's thing. I'm gonna look at chat here. There's been so many messages here, chat. I wasn't able to follow. So oh my God, so many things. Global steering docs. Mr. Almeida, hey. Let's see. Let's see who are the.
I'm just scrolling the victory lap.
Yeah. See that you're doing stuff.
It's like it's done. It said task 1, 2, 3, birthday model, birthday container, everything.
Yeah.
And I'll start it up. I mentioned I have a local test mode, so I'll just do npm run dev. I could ask it how to do that, but that's first running locally. But actually, I'm doing this, but it's not going to do anything because I don't log in locally. So this isn't actually going to do anything particularly. Well, what do you know? It's not even going to work. It's it realized that. So actually, I'm going to ignore this for a second. But it might be a local dev issue. I'll just do npm run. Oh yeah, this is deploy front end. I'll do that. This might break production. But while I'm
AJ says the best prompt is fix bugs, no mistakes. That's yes.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, that's what I'm gonna have it do. Yep, sure enough, it said, okay, I'll just tell it like I'll just say when I run npm, I guess probably anything deploy, run deploy front end, I get errors. All right, it'll have it do it. Yeah, it's probably just ask it more generally. Yeah. I'm surprised it didn't run the tests because this is. What is this? This is a mock implementation.
Yeah.
Okay.
I failed to compile. I don't even know what the problem is.
No.
Comparison appears to be unintentional because there's type and one that have no overlap. Is this a test? Oh, it's a test that fails, right? Is that a... No, it's not a test.
Oh, I guess it's not.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me check errors you're getting by first reading the updated files running the deploy commands. Okay, so it's going to.
I guess I could have been nicer to it and given it this, but it'll figure it out.
Faraday says it's copy paste driven development. You know what?
Yeah.
I mean,
sure,
we've been doing that for a while, my friend. It's you know.
Oh, it is a mock implementation. Spy on mock implementation.
Okay.
I don't know if there's a skip tests, but this is kind of how it's nice to show the actually when it doesn't go because ultimately it's a collaborative thing.
Yep.
I'm actually impressed that it got through all the tasks. Like that was that's pretty great. I don't mean impressed that it was like that's what I was used to that happening when I ran it the other day, but this is so now it's just a matter of getting through the bugs.
Through the bugs. I mean that's kind of one of those ways it works, and you know we are still some means off where you can just kind of let it do its thing and you know just have a finished product, especially when we get into deeper complexity. But I think the fact that you can dissect approaches to your software development by using these specific feature-based specs limits the impact of your changes,
that's right.
right.
That's right. Yeah, this is a pretty narrow thing.
And you have very tight control over what Kiro is attempting to do, right? It is attempting to add the user's birthday in the thing.
That's right.
And then like if you really don't want it, you can just roll all that back and just be done with it and try something else.
Yeah.
I have this friend, and huge vibe coder, like, and loves to use Python, and which we'll talk about that one time. But loves to use Python and just everything in a single file. Just everything in a single file and just vibe codes the whole file, and which is great, but like 15 sessions in, that's a monster, right?
Yeah, it gets a little out of control.
That's a monster.
Just like when somebody tries to, if some coworker of theirs were trying to maintain that thing, that
Exactly,
would be a little irritating. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like he told me, like when they do it in when they collaborate, they work on that. This other person keeps adding to it.
Yeah.
And then you get this app.py that's like a megabyte inside.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And it's like there's no history, there's no context, there's none of that, and that gets really unwieldy really fast.
Yeah. So I like that. Yeah. Exactly. It's more contained this way. And yeah, it's just pretty convenient.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. AI's not gonna take my job. Yeah, man. We all need to be here and fix those bugs. And I think.
This is the side quest thing. This is where like I just get more done because of this. These are things that were on the list. Just take that example of the Kiro team building Kiro with a spec. They for those who joined after I told the story, the Kiro team, I was letting them know that, you know, hey, I really like this, but I want it to pop up a notification on my computer when it's waiting for me, because I hate blocking some progress, being the one it's waiting on. And so they were able to. It was actually a task that was so low on the list, the priority list, compared to the other things they were working on, that they said, Dave, we're not going to be able to get to that. We'll get to it later, but it's going to be a while. But then they said, well, actually, maybe we could get to it if we have Kiro write a spec for it. So they built Kiro with Kiro and got it done in, I think, a couple days or something like that, which it was just too far down on the list. So it's getting so much more done because of this kind of productivity gain.
And so for me, and I said this a few times, my biggest problem is like I feel like losing control, right? When I code sometimes with this, and I felt, for me it felt always like cheating. Like I'm telling it to do something, and I'm like, oh, just do it, and I just don't care what the code is, and hopefully it works. But now, because I have a little bit more control here, I understand like that I can. Go back and see what exactly was done and how it was structured. I can steer it. I can kind of challenge it. It feels a little bit more closer to me than it was without this. So I think this feature alone.
That's right. Yeah, I just found that like without a spec and that kind of framing and changing the workflow kind of more in a more collaborative way with the tool, I found it would just kind of it would wander off and start implementing things that. It's like, yes, that is a thing that we could implement, but it's not what I want right now. It's not a priority at all. And so it would kind of wander off, and because without that agreement, and I find that these spec-driven development is that agreement of what it is we're working on. And so it actually wanders off less. I have to backtrack less. Great. So see, this is the flow that I really like when it gets in. It's running the build itself. And it's going to notice, okay, did this work? I don't know. It's going to figure that out.
Something's running. I don't know.
It's still working.
It's still working. Okay. So for me, Node is superior than Python.
TypeScript.
Node
is Wild West.
Asterisk.
For me, I mean, everybody has their own opinions. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth.
For me, the biggest challenge with Node is like the whole development environment of it is the complexity of different versions of Node and NPM and NPX. And like, if you ask me now, go ahead and start a Node project, do it now. There's going to be problems, right? I always struggle with like getting the correct versions. Something doesn't work, and this whole thing. Sure. So maybe it's something to do with that. Maybe when it runs commands in its own little shell environment, it's a little different. I see, Chris, as you take that back.
I did actually steer it. There's one thing that I changed actually yesterday with steering is that I was getting some node conflicts, because it was actually using some things that were for the CDK. It's a command line that happens to also be Node. It was using my system installed CDK for that. And I had to say, oh, actually, there's a way you can run npx, which actually scopes it to your own local environment managed by a VM and everything. Then I just said, okay, for all the commands you run, we're going to be doing that. And so that was just one line of steering, and it just removed all of those things. Oh, it looks like it finished it.
Success.
Figured it out. It got into like fix its own bugs mode.
And Faraday effect is actually saying it didn't show any of the code. There actually is a button Faraday effect that you can click that says follow, and it's going to actually take you through like all the code. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can show diff. I mean, here, sorry, here's the diffs. You click on that diff button. This is the change that it did at that moment. Yeah, get user initials. I guess what did it do? Deleted that? All right, sure, whatever.
Sure.
Why not? Yeah, I don't know. It's okay. So it looks like it's there.
Okay.
Let's see. Which page am I in? Yeah, there we go. Let's see.
Did you deploy?
Yeah, I did. I went straight to prod. Whoa! Okay, look at it. The user's birthday date's there.
Look at that. Hey, look at that success. Oh my
The
God.
birthday's yesterday. Click to celebrate. Wait, what did I right click? That was a misclick. Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Boom. That way the user knows that it's their birthday.
Oh my God. Wow. But so Faraday says it worked, but it deleted the test. So classic. I mean, hey,
Did it delete the test?
I don't know
about that. I don't think so. It might
have.
have. No, it edited the test. It didn't delete it. Let's see. What did it do? Let's keep me honest. No, it was over mocking.
Okay.
You know, frankly, like if I were to be doing more of this, I would be also steering it more on how it does the test. I appreciate that it writes the tests so that it can get it to a point that it actually works.
Yeah.
But I find sometimes, I mean, this is actually the model doing its work more than anything, is that it will do tests that I think are a little nonsensical. Like, they're fine. They just like, they do verify that the thing is going to happen, but it's kind of like, if you mock the hell out of the system, it's just like, okay, what are you really testing? You're just testing, the test just says that the code does that the code says to do. I prefer writing more simulators for the back end that actually respond as the back end will to the front end and all that stuff. But oh, beautiful! It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I've seen this. I wish. What's the name of the person who had that YouTube video?
Ben.
Ben. I wish Ben was here. Ben, you will be proud of us.
Yeah.
Chris says, "Are you mocking me?" We are mocking everybody here, especially these tests here. You know, this is something I found with LLMs these days. When you do coding with them, they sometimes tend to over-index on testing. Like,
oh, sure.
Really do a lot of tests, and sometimes like unnecessary tests.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good thing that you can kind of steer it in a certain direction.
But at the same time, it's funny because like there are tests that I'm glad it does it, because then it'll find its own just bugs.
Yes.
They're necessary for it to verify its own work, its own output. I've actually found some in terms of this loop of. I don't know why it didn't catch. It should have caught that at build time. So I actually don't know why it didn't try running the build at the end.
Yeah.
But for other types of things, I find that with MCP plugins that I've seen people do, like adding MCP tools to it, you can do things like have it see your screen. So like, it's all about letting it do its own thing without waiting for you to try it. If you can get that loop going in your development flow, that's perfect. And I've seen for some web-based types of things where you can have, with an MCP tool, be able to see what's on your screen or what's in a web browser.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it'll spin it up, do some actual UI tests, and see its own problem, and then go back and fix it without asking you to do any of those steps in between.
Well, Faraday exactly asked that. Can you just put your old website on Kiro and have it do UI testing without that MCP? No, right?
Yeah,
it needs something.
MCP server.
I forgot what the name of the MCP server.
I don't remember.
Selenium or something like that. Exists probably.
Exactly.
There's a bunch of them that exist out there, and you can use them. I think actually I can even show you. I can show you.
Why don't you take over? Yeah.
I'm going to take over for a second.
Good, yeah, and I'll switch to the version of it that has confetti animations.
Give me just a second. I just want to make sure that I don't spill the tea on my MCPs, because I have a little API key here, my friends, that I want to show you. So sharing my screen, share allow. Let's do the window. This window. Okay. So MCP server configuration is quite simple. It's like your typical MCP.json. I think we all used to this specific way of doing it. And it's, again, MCP server is just table stakes these days, but you can add your multiple MCP servers here. Like I have the AWS Labs documentation, I have the crate docs, and I have the Neon thing. What's great about this thing here is that it supports anything from like your Docker MCP servers to your typical NPM executed, what is it called? MCP servers, like using NPX, but it also supports just binaries, right? Like just in this case, crate docs is literally a Rust binary running on my computer. So it supports all of those things, and it works with them. no matter whether you're vibe coding or whether you are just I don't know, using spec-driven development. So it's able to do that, and it's just a kind of a thing that comes with the editor, with Kiro itself. So, but it's there, it's for you, and you can start using all of these things. Now, is the Kiro support only STDIO in this case, or do you know it does support HTTPS streaming?
I assume. I mean, it's just part of the config. I haven't tried. I haven't tried a remote. Did I try a remote MCP?
I've not tried remote MCPs. I'm sure like Nathan or somebody in the chat, Al, maybe can tell us. Do we support remote MCP servers in this case? I know some other tools don't, but just quite interested. Is that a supported thing here? Also, okay, let's try something else out. And I know this is not a killer feature, but I'm gonna do something. So.
Oh, you're gonna write some, right?
We're gonna draw something.
multimodal.
Multimodal development. Chat. What is multimodal development? Multimodal development is that you can give it pictures, images, screenshots, whatever, something that's not text, and it's able to do stuff based off of that. So if I draw a little box here, give me a second. I'm drawing boxes on paper. That's one box. That's another box. That's another box. I'm gonna say API gateway.
Oh, it's
I'm
not
gonna
gonna
say
read that.
Trust me, I have horrible handwriting, chat. Lambda, and let's do DDB, right? And let's do, I don't know, S3, and let's do SNS.
Wow. Okay.
So API gateway here, here, here.
Okay. Yep. I'm just
Like
gonna
that.
call those things.
There's a little user here that goes here, and I will just say upload.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say image watermark.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So a little new. This is a new website you're making.
It's a new website
or
right
API rather.
We've designed the website, friends.
New API.
It's
Wow.
it's horrible. I'll show you on screenshot. It's horrible. So I'm gonna take my phone. I'm gonna take a picture of this whole thing here. Look at that. Look at that. Boom. Okay. I'm sending myself this picture right now, and I'm gonna dump it into Kiro, and we're gonna see exactly what it does. So let's do the dance. Attach item, send item. $1 billion ID on a napkin. Exactly, right? So next time you go to a bar, draw your architecture diagrams. And let's...
And you can throw the camera out of my screen if you want for a second.
Oh, yes, let me do that.
While you're doing that part.
Okay.
So while you're doing the upload, which maybe take over whenever you want to start showing something.
You
but this is minor.
showing.
What I did is yesterday I did the birthday date, where this time I added to the requirements to say also make it animate some confetti on screen.
Okay.
It just took it an extra like 10 minutes because it was using some other dependency, and I didn't want to have it do that for this kind of live cooking show. I just wanted to show you the result because it's fun. So when I click on the birthday, it says it actually
Happy birthday.
But it shoots the confetti. Let's see that again. Let's see that again. It's amazing.
Oh
So
God.
good. It's just some React library that was doing that. But it took it longer, so I didn't want to do that for the live version. But anyway, okay, that's it. End of story.
Also, Comic Sans.
The payoff is massive. I said to
Did
use...
you tell Comic Sans?
I either said Comic Sans or a fun font, but I
Fun
might have
font.
said Comic Sans. Yeah.
So give me a second.
Okay,
I'm
you
going to
can take
do
back- yeah.
watermark. I'm creating a little empty directory here. And let me take over with the screen share. Not Kiro. Where's my thing? Share. Let's do this. I'm going to close my mcp.json so you don't see my things here. I'm going to open up a new folder. So actually, I'm going to close this folder. I'm going to open up a new folder. The error you're seeing is I have an MCP server called create_docs. For some reason, when there's no folder open, it just complains. I have no idea why. That's probably because I haven't configured it correctly.
Yeah.
Open folder. I have a little thing here called Kiro watermark. Okay, so it's an empty directory. There's nothing here. Like it's literally just blank. There's my MCP servers, not even hooks, no steering, none. Okay, so I know why it's complete. Ignore me. Opening up chat. Actually, you know what? Not even that. I'm going to go ahead and attach an image.
There you go.
Downloads. I don't know where I put that image. There it is. Okay.
I'm sure this is right. There we go.
Chat.
Didn't even have to rotate it.
Feast your eyes on this. I know. I absolutely know.
It's beautiful.
You all know what this is. I don't. First of all, I don't know how to hold a pen. ignore me.
Yeah, that's fine.
Upload API gateway level, all of these things, right?
Mhm.
And I'm going to say, please write me infrastructure code in Terraform for this application. Ignore the Lambda code for now. I just want
It's nice.
on the scaffolding.
Keep it focused on
Keep
that.
it focused
Great.
on that, right?
Mhm.
Let's see what
Nice.
Kiro says.
Probably didn't even have to say Terraform.
I have no idea.
Because of your steering.
Well, there's no steering dock.
Oh, you loaded a fresh
Yeah,
one. Okay.
Looking at the architecture, I can see serverless applications with API gateway Lambda, what appears to be 3 data stores, S3,
How
RDS.
did it understand your
Oh,
handwriting?
actually, it didn't read. It's RDS. There's no RDS.
Yeah.
It kind of.
I mean, I'm looking at this and it looks like RDS.
I know.
I don't know.
I'm gonna cancel.
Yeah.
It's not RDS. It's
SNS, I
It's
think. Is the one?
SNS, yeah.
It looks like it looks.
SNS.
I can see where it.
There you
I
go.
also have. I have very bad handwriting. This is so.
I've intentionally done this. I usually
Yeah.
write it really beautiful.
Oh,
It's great.
good. Oh,
No, it's just bad. Yeah. So and it didn't understand. It didn't even comment on my image watermark thing here. So I think it understood what it wants me to do, but we will see. Okay, let me open SNS instead of this.
Yeah, great.
There you go.
Great.
But it will.
Oh,
start-
it's just going for it.
Yeah, it's just going for it. Like, look at it. Main TF is here. Variables are here.
Mhm.
All of these things are just going. Like, it's just booking. It started to do some RDS scaling, but it's gonna skip that.
Oh yeah, right.
But yeah, it's a neat way to do it, especially if you're okay, here's what I want to do. I have this whole thing. Please, here's my application. You know what? Create me spec.
Yeah.
Spec doc, right?
It's a really nice way to do multimodal.
Yeah.
There's another way another use for multimodal that I like to do. I could show it right now
Yeah,
too,
yeah, let's do it, let's
unless
do
you
it.
want to see the end of it.
I'm going to show it at the end it will chug along through this. So I'm going to switch to David's thing here.
Sure.
Okay. Even AI can't read there for Darko side writing. Nobody can. You know, I was in elementary school. I was kicked out from class because of my bad handwriting ones.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
I had to
pretty
write
harsh.
a test, and my teacher went like, "What is this?" Out. So yeah.
Yeah. Like you just practice, I guess. Wow. So what I like to do is if I want to have it move around a UI element,
Okay.
and this is what we were saying with some MCP tools do automate this a bit for
Yes.
you. But what I do, since I don't have that, I don't know, for now, I just kind of take a screenshot.
Right.
I'll copy the image. I'll go back over to Kiro and say, actually, let's start a new session just for fun, I guess, whatever, it doesn't matter. And I'll say, can you move the, I don't know, what do I want to do? The navigation to be left aligned.
Okay.
That might confuse it. What do I mean by that? Yeah, left aligned.
Okay.
And just paste it.
Yeah.
Because it sees this is what I'm talking about. Like, I guess I probably could have been less specific. I could just said move the home, and it's gonna it's looking around. Since it's a little easier for it because it has that structure steering doc that it had generated up front. It's generated that steering, that structure MD. Remember, that's the thing that's telling it. If I click on it, oh, got away from me. Click on the structure. I don't know. Maybe it's probably because my Windows so too many things open. Yeah. Close all that stuff. Structure. Oh no, actually, I might have found a bug. Okay.
So I'm calling here from Gaming Professor. Does each message here count as against the limit to the account? I know there's some sort of quirkiness to the way, I'm not sure about this specific tool, but I know tools don't treat specific messages as amount of tokens. I don't know, but this would specifically count as a message because I stopped it, I sent another message. That's it, right? So it would count to the limits for sure, right? In this case, but I'm going to leave Nathan and other folks here to maybe talk a little bit more on that if we have a little bit more nuanced messaging than I just kind of splurred out here. But okay, so
I'll just deploy it again. Yeah. Oh, is it another bug? No, it's not another bug.
Okay.
Okay, great. Okay, so it's deploying. Sorry,
Still making
going
changes.
back and forth. No. Oh, is it making changes?
No, is it? No,
It was done.
it's
It
not.
said, okay, I moved it over to the left, and it described it. I mean, it's nice, and it does. I like this. This is, to me, is just the right amount of verbosity. It tells me what it's up to. I didn't read this say my thinking out loud for this part, but I was looking. Okay, yep, it's moving header to left.
Yep.
Restructured the header. That is about what I wanted. Okay, great. So now I guess I can go and just do a refresh, and we'll see where it moved it. Yeah, boom.
Boom. There you
So the multimodal, I just take instead of having to describe every little nuance of what I wanted to do or find the code and say in this file do the thing, just take a screenshot, say the thing that you want to have it do, and it'll just move things around, resize. I've seen it. I think somebody on the Kiro team showed me that I could just kind of take a screenshot of some other
Yeah.
like just a website with a style that I like,
Exactly.
and it'll say restyle my site to look like this.
Yep,
It's pretty
yep, yep,
amazing the
yep.
kind of multimodal aspects, things that you can do with multimodal.
Take a screenshot, print it on a piece of paper, make some notes on
Oh,
it,
sure.
send it over.
Mhm.
You know, hey.
Sure.
But also like I find this like I worked in the past with a lot of like web designers, and they would give you like Photoshop mockups of
Oh,
the
sure.
website.
Take those.
Take those, right?
Yeah.
You take those, like you work with a designer, they give you a mock-up of a website. Here's what I want it to look like. You can modify the colors, change stuff, and it's able to kind of deduce these things from this. So just
Amazing.
shenanigans. Love it. Like even for yourself, if you want to mock a website, open up your favorite tool, Figma, Canva, Photoshop, Photopea, whatever, and you make it look like you want it to look. You tell it this, but with Tailwind CSS.
Oh, sure.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So big fan of that. Big fan of that. Okay, have we missed a couple of features of this? I'm looking at Kiro, like, is there something we missed? We talked about steering docs, we talked about agent hook, we talked about specs, we talked about MCP servers. We never talked about model support. So currently, if you go ahead, there's
you can
two
take
models.
over. Yeah, you can take over.
Yeah.
That's mine. So
let me go back to my thing. Oh, this is still actually it's finished actually. So let me screen share. I have to do this whole dance every time. Every time. Nope, not that one. Where is Kiro? This is
threw off your train of thought there. Okay, yeah.
Okay. So it's finished. Let me see what it has done here. So there's main TF. I see API gateways, Lambda functions. It chose Python for some reason.
Need more because you didn't have any steering.
I didn't have steering, exactly.
This is the power of steering also,
I'm-
and spec.
I'm
Because
gonna-
you were vibing this. This is exactly why specs.
Exactly.
I don't know if that was on purpose or not.
It wasn't, but there
that's
you go.
it. That's why.
That's why
Because you're
specs.
like, oh, it came back and it did this stuff that, oh, I didn't actually want that. Specs get that concentration up front before you tab away and work on something else, and it goes down a long journey, and you're like, oh, actually go undo everything you did.
Exactly.
Right? This is exactly why I like the spec flow.
Exactly.
It's beautiful.
My next sharing doc is going to be write all of my functions in objectively the best programming language in the world.
Okay.
I know
Interesting.
few people know what I'm talking about.
What is your favorite programming language?
I don't know. It has something to do with crabs. So, by the way, I've been writing Lambda functions for 10 years now. And to this day, it's the easiest language to write Lambda functions in is in Rust.
Sure.
And like, I will say this because it's the easiest thing to package up and deploy, because unlike some other languages, it's just a binary and that's it. Everything is in the binary and done. So
That's pretty nice.
and it's fast. So, okay, so I wanted to show something here. Besides just doing all of its thing is doing, it has model support. So there's currently only two models available, Claude 4.0 and Claude 3.7 Sonnet. So all of these models available. You can choose between the two. Would you choose the other one? You know, Sonnet 3.7 is slightly faster than 4.0. So like there's that. There's also this thing adding context. Like you can do a little bit more than just your whole thing. You can kind of, during vibe coding, you can purposely set specific context things like contents of the terminal or like problems in the current file, a URL. Right? You can add it specifically.
Oh, I could have given it that.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
didn't even know about that.
Well, so if you would give it the URL, I don't know if you would like. I think it would.
Oh, it wouldn't have been signed in as me for sure.
Yeah.
And that's only my birthday date.
Exactly. So like, you know, you can do the whole like docs and gits and whatnot. So there's a bunch of stuff you can add to this thing, like independently of everything else. So
Great.
that's just again,
It's all about having all the different ways to fit your vibe code flow.
exactly. Of course, when Make Exchanges has all these diffs here. I want to see how the revert works. So if I hit revert, okay. So
Oh, it's a different revert. I was hitting just the one change, whereas there's also this big, like when it's done with a thing, there's the big revert thing. That's nice.
So the revert here, what happened? What happens with revert?
I guess it did the revert. Yeah, that was a diff. So I guess you go back to the main.
Okay,
file,
yes.
it's gone.
So okay, yes. So the revert here was before my cancel, right?
Yep.
And that was the revert here. But
Yeah.
if I do this one,
Oh, yeah.
this one,
Under that, that's
and
gone.
there's nothing, gone.
Yeah.
All of it's gone.
Yeah.
Which is kind of really great, right? For especially when I want to do stuff, it's just great. By the way, one little trick on hooks, and this is something that I don't know. Maybe you want to do it, or maybe not. I find some people asking about this.
Okay.
So we have agent hooks when you say like when a file is changed. Right?
Yes. Right.
But you can also do the following. When I make commits to my git repo,
Mhm.
update the README file.
Oh, okay.
So
So this is when you're really officially done with a task.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So
You don't have to type. It'll figure it out.
exactly.
You don't have to. You don't have to fix. I am so
I-
sloppy in my accuracy of typing when I'm typing to an LLM is I just don't care.
How do you think it is going to do this?
How will it do that? I don't. Well, I don't know. I mean, is it going to create a hook or is it just going
It's
to
going to create a hook,
Okay,
but how is it going to know I made a commit?
like a pre-commit?
Actually, it's going to just look for a git logs
Oh.
head. That's it.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's smart enough to
Oh, I
understand
see.
that
It's trigger off of the git logs. That's neat.
it's still
I
using
see.
just file
You're
changes,
saying, I see. Oh,
but it's
great.
going to look for file saved.
I see. That's where it's going to trigger off of. Okay,
Exactly.
nice.
So it's smart enough to understand that, like, oh, okay. It doesn't have any ways for it to determine have you run the git commit command,
Mm.
but it will know because the git logs file head file is going to be having some changes.
Nice. Like I say, whenever I say, hey, whenever I update this steering file, then
Yeah.
I want you to do this thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. It just kind of figures out which file to watch.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, amazing. Okay, chat. You know what? It's been great. See a lot of stuff here. Nathan says there are generous limits to the public preview, so you shouldn't need to worry about individual messages. Yeah, please go ahead and try this out. Go ham on it. See what you can build. See what Kiro can help you folks build. I'm going to go ahead and give you another link here in the chat. We also, like all the cool kids out there, we have a Discord. So if you want to go and chat with people like us, people like a bunch of here in chat, because I realize you're also there, join us on Discord. There's a whole thing where people share stuff, what they built with Kiro, questions, comments, ideas, feedback, yell at us. Please do that.
Yeah, tell us everything you see in there.
Yeah.
Like this is a preview so that we can learn what you want. So please, like the Discord is a great place
Yeah.
to stay so connected to the people who are actually working on it. So please jump in there. Let us know what you want to see. Let us know what you're liking so we don't remove it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, let us know. Like, give us feedback in there. You're going to be talking to real people.
Yeah, exactly. And I see Daryl here says, interested to see how this is going to be used, Cloud Code versus when it's no specific ID required. I understand. That's why I like something like Cloud Code or Q Developer CLI. But give this a shot.
Yeah.
It has a lot of bells and whistles there that could be incredibly useful. So, and I do see a lot of other coding assistant developers kind of jump on the spec-driven.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't call it spec-driven development. They have some other names for it, but it's usually the same, kind of like just planning. I think planning.
Spec's pretty good. So yeah, people jump. This is a new way of. It's a new way of coding. It's a new workflow.
Yeah.
It works really well. It kind of just keeps things on task. I find, I'll point my QCLI at it, at those the steering files, at the other, it can understand it, it can figure it out. So yeah, using multiple tools together is a pretty common common flow. I find myself spending more and more time in Kiro, but there are a lot of, I use different tools together, just like everybody.
Yeah. Amazing. So chat, that's the link to the Discord. Here's the link to Kiro.dev. This is something you also need to go and check out. That's where you can find all the docs. You can find all the downloads. It's there. It's free during the preview. Additionally, I want you to go ahead and check out and potentially, win some money. There's the hackathon happening on DevPost. $100,000 total prizes. I think $30,000 is for the first prize. Build something in Kiro. Share it with us how you built it. Show it to us. All those things, and we have a bunch of great judges that are going to be doing those things. I think we covered everything here, folks. Next week on the 22nd, that is Tuesday. Tuesday. Yes, next week on the 22nd, come back here. Twitch.tv/Kiro.dev and YouTube.c/Kiro.dev. Here, there's going to be another live stream, a slightly longer one. We're going to have a couple of guests. We're going to have folks who built Kiro, as well as Claire Ligor joining us to talk about a little bit more on, the future of spec-driven development. We're going to build some stuff. We're going to look at some code. We're going to see what works. So I challenge you now to go ahead and try Kiro, test it out, work with it. Next Tuesday, 22nd of July, come back on this live stream and yell at us. Tell us what you liked, tell us what you didn't like. We would love to hear your experiences in the next week because, hey, we want to make this product great. We want to make this product useful. We want you to be able to build cool stuff with it, right? So
yeah, very exciting.
Amazing. Any last words? Not last words. Any final? No, that's. Any thoughts before we shut down the live stream?
Sure. No, I mean, gosh, I'll spend the next 25 minutes with final thoughts. So no, I think I've been chasing after the thing that will continue to make my life as a programmer easier and easier, make me faster and faster. and for you all, like I've been working on these kinds of services that are from NoSQL to serverless. I'm always chasing the next big thing that's going to save all that time, whether it's building or operating, and in all life phases of the development life cycle. I've been focusing on operations so much that I'm excited now to be that we're getting more of that build side. And so think of whatever side quests that you just didn't have time for at the moment, just kick it off, create a spec, get that going in the background while you're doing something else. So just go out. I think this is the next big thing. I think it is the next big thing that's going to help you just get so much more done, so much faster. So get out there and try it and see what you can build.
Side quest coding, the next big thing. Amazing. Thank you so much. Thanks,
Thank
David.
you for having me.
Thanks for having
me on your show.
Thank you. Chat, next week, Tuesday, 22nd of July, here, 9 a.m. Pacific. Join us. Let's do some more fun. You have some fun with coding. If I see you this week in New York City, if you run into me by any chance, let me know. I'll give you a sticker. So amazing. Thank you so much, friends. I don't have an outro here video, so I'm gonna have to ask our video team to give us a nice little outro video for next week. I'm gonna play you a 10-second clip of whatever thing, Kiro. Chat, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the questions. Thank you for all the comments. Kiro.dev. See you all next week. Bye. That's trust.